Hi, I'm Kevin Finch, director of Wes Bound, the genius of Wes Montgomery. We are at Kurt Vonnegut Memorial Library on Indiana Avenue, which was the great jazz mecca of Indianapolis. Touring musicians from all over the country would come here. Plus, of course, we also grew quite a few great musicians, including Wes, Monk, and Buddy Montgomery, J.J. Johnson, Slide Hampton, Freddie Hubbard, an amazing group. One of the great jazz musicians not from Indianapolis who toured with Wes was Billy Hart. Billy Hart is an NEA jazz master, and he is an amazing drummer, and he has great memories of what it was like to be on tour with Wes Montgomery. Wes as band leader, Wes as the boss. Check it out.
Anyway, this guy lived around Washington, D.C., which is where I'm from.
Gotcha.
And so this guy had known me since I was a little boy. Mm-hmm. So why can't Grady Tate?
Okay.
Yeah.
Grady Tate.
Yeah. So Grady was the drummer, and Herbie Hancock was the studio piano player, and Ron Carter.
Okay.
And they were recording, so I got a chance to go to some of the record dates.
Gotcha.
You know, because they weren't. I wasn't known enough or respected enough to be on those record dates.
All right.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I could go see it.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw Wes like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's who I knew was Monk.
Oh, Monk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Monk was, he was a bad boy like me, and I looked up to him for that kind of
He was a
stuff.
bad boy.
Oh, Monk was, because he was like a philosopher.
Yeah.
He's a very philosophical
Yeah,
guy,
he was.
and he would do it in such a comic way.
Mm-hmm.
He was always funny. I mean, it was fun. You think a cat like him, because he looked serious, but he was always telling jokes.
Right.
And always laughing about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I left Jimmy, I went home and whatever. And Monk and Wes came through town, which is Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And I guess I can only imagine that he just wanted to make a change.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in Washington, D.C. Man, if he had been anywhere else,
Right.
and evidently Monk suggested me,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. And
That's how you came aboard.
that's how
Wow.
I came on almost immediately.
Yeah.
I think after they left Washington, I was going to be the next gig.
Mm-hmm.
So Wes said, "Man, I'm going to drive you to the gig. You going with me?" I said, "Man, I thought I was going to be hanging out with Monk and Bud."
Mm-hmm.
"No, you coming with me." In other words, we're going to know each other now. We're going to meet each other now.
Yeah.
So, he said, "Well, man," he said, "like I'm in this now, I've done some playing and all this, but they're making me now.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm going to be. You just a kid. I mean, in case you want to do some flashy this or that."
You ain't gonna be doing
No,
that.
no. You said
Was
no.
that a long ride? Was that a long
So all I can say is yes, sir.
Right.
Because I mean, how old was I? Yeah, I was 27, 26, 27, and he said, "This is what I'm going to do," and he said, "I'm telling you now, in case you can't handle it."
Yeah.
I said, "Yes, sir."
Mm-hmm.
What could I say? You know what I mean? I know what I could have said, but I wasn't.
Right.
That was Wes Montgomery, man.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he was also talking like he was my father,
Mm-hmm.
Because
Young guy.
yeah, and he was, but just the sound of his voice. I mean, he wasn't joking. I mean, he wasn't pretending to be. That's the way he was,
Right.
And he said, he saw me as a kid, and he would say things like that.
Yeah.
I forget where we were playing. Okay, well, the first thing that happened was we went from Newark to Boston, outside of Boston, and and he said, you know, Billy, I don't like the sound of your cymbals.
Okay.
And I said, well, you know, man, just because you don't like them, that don't mean I can go out and buy some dude. Well, I mean, I didn't say it like that.
But I know what the thought. Who are you talking to?
You know, I mean, I can't, you know, I said, well, you know, I like them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, man, you know, you got to get a cymbal.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, I don't know if I can, you know, I don't even know if we had negotiated money or anything. He just, Wes called me, I was just gone, you know.
Right.
You know, I wasn't like, well, I need,
no. I better take the chance and go for it. I got you.
It wasn't even taking a chance. He was like, you know, he was Wes. I mean, yeah, I probably would have played for free. You know?
Right. I get it.
You know. So anyway, so when he brought that, I said, well, man, you know, I don't know how much I'll make. I don't know if I can afford. He said, all right, man, go get a symbol, you know, an adjective symbol.
Yeah.
So now I went to the bar, you know. I just joined the band, man. I went to the bar and said, look, man, I don't see no music stores around here. You know, I mean, you know, where I can go get a cymbal, any drum shop. And you know what it was? We were playing at a place called Lenny's on the Turnpike. There's a turnpike.
I've seen, you know, I actually have seen a picture of one of the flyer type things, the posters about Lenny's on the Turnpike.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're playing at Lenny's on the Turnpike. And the cat said, well, man, you don't realize. He said, but just 20 miles down the road is the cymbal factory.
Wow.
I said, really? So I went down to the cymbal factory, you know, I guess I got some kind of ride or something, went down to the factory. And you know, it's a room about 4 times the size of this room, right? And you know, and full of cymbals. And you know, I had like an old cymbal, but I had grown up with that cymbal, and I loved that cymbal.
Right.
So I saw all these brand new cymbals I tapped. It just was too shiny. It didn't have, you know, because I'm from the community.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was, you know.
Like an old football, baseball or something.
Yeah, right.
I mean, nothing new.
Yeah, right. So I tapped the cymbal. I didn't see nothing that I liked. Now I'm saying, well, here I am in the world capital of cymbals.
And I can't find it.
You know, but I looked around in the corner, and I was there all day too, just tapping cymbals. So I looked over in the corner. There was up on the wall was a cymbal up on the wall, like an older one. It was still bright and shiny, but it was, but it was older. And I tapped it and tapped it. I said, okay, this is the one I want. And I said, well, Wes had given me $100. So he said, well, you got it. And I said, well, here, man, I'd like to, let me give you this money. He said, man, you seem like you really know what kind of cymbals you like. So if you just sign on the line, you know, we'll give you the cymbal.
Wow.
Right? And do you know, all of these cymbals, none of this has ever been out of the house. I can show you, if I take you in the back room, I know it's so dirty back there, but I got about 6 or 8 cymbal bags of cymbals that I still, I got, in other words, I'm a K Zildjian,
signature.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's because of Wes.
Wow. You kept that $100 too, didn't you?
I thought about it. I thought about it. You know, I thought about it. Again, you know, I'm from the community.
Well, that's right. That's right. Hey, how would he know? You know,
Yeah,
I get it. I get it.
No, but you know, I get you know. I you know.
So what if the cymbal was ready too? He loved the cymbal too.
Oh yeah. Well, I think he just liked that. You know, I tell you to do something, you do it.
Yeah.
And I think he liked that. And that was just the first time. A bunch of that kind of stuff happened. I'll tell you one more thing about him. You know, like I say, he treated me like a kid. Well, I was.
Can you imagine that? Billy Hart patiently went through the entire showroom of a cymbal factory to test the sound of each cymbal before he landed on the one that he wanted to use. Great story from Billy Hart. We have another Billy Hart story you can also click on to Further Wes Bound to hear. And if you like what you're hearing, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm Kevin Finch, director of Wes Bound.